like though is the fact that there's a lot of people that are playing semantics with words. I played the video back multiple times just to make sure I'm not tripping. If I feel like a nigga called me or said that I ain't shit, basically referencing other people, specifically even Tea Time, who's sitting right here, saying that I ain't her, I ain't got that as much pull as these people, and I ain't gonna never have that type shit. I'm gonna take it as a motherfucker saying that I ain't shit. So even if he didn't say out of his own mouth, you ain't shit, Rose, the comparison of individuals and saying everything that he said led me to believe that this was his sentiments. And so I spoke from how it made me feel. Now, what I apologized for on Bella's panel was not making sure that I expressed this is how it made me feel. But I did not lie about the shit that he said out of his mouth. I did not lie about how he worded everything that he worded in regards to saying that I was supposedly being condescending, however I wasn't, insinuating that I'm trying to be like all of these people, how I'm supposedly gonna make all these people content, how I'm clout chasing off all of these people who he claims to be these influencers. I'm not lying about the shit that he said. And if I'm not mistaken, you were sitting on the panel. And I understand you also made a statement saying that, you had just apologized to him. So, you didn't want to make it come off as, I can't just apologize to a nigga and then I'm back at him. So you said that you just decided to be neutral. You didn't say anything. However, that nigga was actively belittling me on that panel.
So, okay. Let me know because I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead. You done?
Go ahead.
Okay. So, yes, I did say Rose was a liar in that situation. You came up on the panel in court today and you said, Kev told me I was worthless. I wasn't anything and I wasn't going to be anything. Were your words exactly. Now, when you played the video, because I had issues with a few parts, and I don't know if you missed this part. When you started off the video, you started off it and you played my conversation with Bullock. And I understand the pretense you wanted to show people that that's when he initially told you to stay out of people's business. But I feel like that was messy. I feel like, granted, today, as of Sunday, because I don't see Bullock throughout the week. We don't go on the same platforms. But today, as of Sunday, we see each other every Sunday in court. So for you to play that preface could have opened up or rehashed a whole nother situation. Hold on, I just want to be honest. Could have opened up or rehashed a whole nother situation. I didn't like that. And I even wrote in the comments, Rose, if this is supposed to be about you, let's stay on you. And we don't have to play the trip part. But I understand you played it for context. Then when you played the full video, you had stated the man called you worthless, said that you were not anything and you would never be anything. Verbatim. He never said any of that in the live. Now I understand, and I was the one on my platform that said if she stated it made her feel that way, that's one thing. But to say that he said that and then a video is played and nowhere in the video he says that is a lie. So you are correct. I did state that was a lie. And I also added, because you're not mentioning this part, I stated that I did not like the fact that so much of me and Bullock's argument was played when the conversation was supposed to be originated on you and Kev. We watched about 40 to 50 minutes of Kev's live in Bella's court just to get a pretense on what we was looking at. And those specific words were never said. I understand if it made you feel less than, it made you feel like, and I did hear the comparison between you and Tea Time where he said, you're not a Tea Time, you're not an Aunt Karen. Those are comparisons, but he did not specifically state you are not shit, you will never be shit, and you are worthless. And that's what you originally stated he came up and said. And at no point did he say those exact words.
Okay. So I had just got the video and I had not pre-watched it before I was able to only pull up the certain clips that was specifically on me. And I thought that I had preference that I had just got the video. So yes, that part of you and her was in context, but it wasn't intentionally to just be messy or to highlight the fact that you and Bullock had got into it. I was highlighting the fact that I was telling two mutuals of mine, like, this wasn't the time or place. And he was saying to me, like, ain't nobody asked you, da-da-da-da, from when the minor jabs started. That was what that's what I was shining light on. That. Not so much you and Bullock, more so the shit that he said to me, as to why I quoted him saying, ain't nobody ring your bell. And essentially to be quiet. And I think the thing with wordplay is a person don't have to say shut up for them to say shut up. And even with him saying ain't nobody ring your bell, that was a reference of mind your business, shut up. Same thing,
Well, I
but he
think
didn't
he
say that
said that though, verbatim. He said, Rose, he said sometimes when we're not called for, that's why we need to just stay on the sidelines because he said Trip wasn't talking to you, Bullock wasn't talking to you, they was talking to each other. So I don't think he said shut up verbatim, but he verbatim stated he did not say shut up. But he did imply to remain out of the situation, regardless if they're mutuals or not. Yes.
And so what I'm showing is that there was a lot of implication. So yes, I understand that he did not say verbatim out of his mouth, Rose, you ain't shit, you don't mean nothing, whatever the case may be. It did not negate the fact that he implied that I was these things. So if this man is very adamant on your impact and your intent is important, right? Impact versus intent. They say it in the comments. This man repeats it often, right? He also told Slim multiple times throughout this entire week, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's the perception that people view you as. And he's saying these things to Slim and the stuff that Slim says out of his mouth. However, in a space where a person that he claims that he does not know, he never had no conversations with, he implied that Rose is a clout chaser. She's a user. He implied that I use other people for content. He implied that I ain't shit. He implied that I will never be like any of these other content creators that he explicitly compared me to. He implied these things. So I understand.
Okay.
I understand that you can say, okay, well, Rose, he didn't say those exact words. I get that. But implication is just as harsh, just as potent as the actual words. If I say to you, Trip, you said, the sky is blue. And I'll be like, no, that's not true. Trip, are you calling me a liar? No, I'm not calling you a liar. I'm just saying that's not true. Okay, are you implying that I'm lying about something? I could. That's just your perception. That's how you view that. Okay, well, what's the difference between a truth and a lie? What's the opposite?
So I get what you're saying, and there's a big difference. If you say somebody made me feel worthless and somebody said I'm worthless, those are two different things because perception falls on you. What they
But I'm
said
also
falls
saying
on them.
implication. And
And I
implication and
understand that.
perception is two different things.
Okay, let me explain. It didn't come from me. I understand your argument was with him. When they asked me, Trip, Rose and Kev had that situation. How do you feel about that? What do you feel? Do you feel like after you heard that? I said, well, based off of the fact Rose said he is worthless, he called her worthless, and he said that she is not important and will never be important. Those would be lies. Like you said, it's very black and white. It's not no gray area. Did he or did he not say in the video worthless, not important, and will never be important? And no, he did not say any of those
No, he
things.
didn't say
So
those
in that case, that would not be correct. Those would be falsified statements. Now, I don't know how it made you feel. Only you know how it made you feel. But I'm able to say that those things were not stated. So that, in fact, would be a lie. In regards to the Bullock thing, I'm not a backslider. So when I heard a nice part of her video, there were people in the comments, if Bella can pull it up, who were stating, okay, why are we listening to Trip's recording? Can we move forward to the part that you're talking about with Kev? I had wrote at one point in time, okay, this is supposed to be about Rosado. Why is we listening to
Yeah,
clips
I
of
had
Trip?
never heard the video until this morning. So we were
Okay.
all going through it together.
Okay.
As to why I wasn't able to just skip to me and his part because I that was my first time hearing that video.
Okay.
And I understand what you're saying. A person's perception of what they feel happened, that's one thing. But an implication is still something that can still hold true. An implication is a conclusion that can be drawn based off of things that people are saying. If someone is explicitly making certain statements, a person can conclude that this person is what? A clout chaser, for example. If you're implying that this person does X, Y, and Z, a person can then conclude that you are making statements about this person being X, Y, and Z. That is literally the definition in itself. It's involving something or someone and making it seem as if though they are whatever it may be. Even in a court system, you can imply a whole lot of conversation. You can imply a whole lot of statements. I understand that me saying that he said those things and that at that point was an exaggeration as to what I apologized for on Bella's panel before I dropped.
What did
I
you
can acknowledge
apologize for,
that.
Rose?
I can acknowledge that. But the implication itself, I'm not denying. Because a whole lot of
I
people
don't know
imply a whole
what.
lot of
So
shit.
I understand what you're stating. I'm not trying to take away from anything that you felt or what you feel was implied. I heard what he said. Like you said, I was up on the live when the actual live took place. We had to watch 40, 50 minutes of the live today in Bella's court. Now, you said you were using it as evidence, but then you're saying it's your first time watching.
It was my first time.
That's fine. None of that matters to me. When they asked me, what do you feel like that was a lie or that was not a lie? We all heard the same video. If you read the comments in here, the comments over there, that was not what the man has said. So I understand that you're saying that was implied or that's how it made you feel. All of that could be very much so true. But in terms of if it's black and white, was that said? No. And like you said, if you say it's blue outside and I say that's not true, well, two things can't be true at the same time. You can't be saying what I'm saying is not true, but not calling me a liar. So if it comes down to it, that statement was falsified. That statement was not true. That would have made it a lie. In regards to that, he never said those things directly. What was implied, I'm not touching on. What you felt, I'm not touching on. I can't do that. But I can say that what was said was not what you said it was going to be or what we were supposed to be looking for in the video. And that's what I had made clear. I'm not a backslider. I say whatever I got to say on my live, on your live. It ain't no beef. I ain't got a problem with you. But that was not exactly what the man said. And when we're on social media, we're not face to face. It ain't like you can go tap somebody on the shoulder. Did you say such a, oh, such and such and such? It take time to clear shit up. And when it came down to that situation, you also had said in there, drop hearts, y'all, you know, if you fuck with me. And that's understandable. I said, I didn't want to put anything. I wrote in the comments, I fuck with both of y'all. I said, I just had problems with Kev. We just apologized to each other a few days ago. I just started speaking to Rose maybe a month ago. She's been on this app and so have I, but I have not been anywhere in her presence. So for me, I'm not choosing sides. I'm not creating enemies based off of other people. So who do you support? I support both of you motherfuckers. Hey, how y'all doing? I put a heart in there and said both of y'all because I'm not going to be drugged one way or the other. Niggas don't move for me. They move for themselves. So I can't move for nobody else. When somebody else got a problem, that's cool. I understand that. I respect that. And once again, I could have put a white heart, but had I put a white heart in the comments for you, Kev would have said, oh, so is the bitch going against me? And then what I'm going to drop over there for him? I'm with the niggas? No, I put in there both of y'all. I fuck with both of y'all. I hope we can move past this, move forward in peace. And that's exactly what I meant. But just because I'm cool with two people, you can be cool with two people and know what's right and what's wrong. If I got two friends and them motherfuckers take off on each other and get to fighting, who wrong? Whichever one of them motherfuckers hit the other one first, period. And you can still be cool with me afterwards, but I'm not going to lie for you because you cool with me.
That's cool. I wasn't expecting you to lie from me or none of that. I wasn't expecting you to drop no white hearts. The reason for why I told people to put the white hearts because that man implied that I ain't got no motion.
And you got the right to do that. Them is your people.
So when I heard that you made those statements saying that I was trying to sway the comments, it wasn't about swaying no comments. It wasn't about that. What it was about was letting this nigga see, like, baby, what you thinking ain't what that is. I don't know. And that's why I said, even on his panel, I don't know what the hell conversations you had with people on the back end or what conversations prior to your interaction with me today for the first time on your broadcast. And Kev, I seen you fly in here. If you would like to come up, you can. You are not my content, by the way. So
can y'all hear me finally?
We can now.
Okay.
Right, so I don't know what conversations could have been had prior to, but it didn't make no sense why a nigga was saying whatever the hell he was saying out of the thin fucking air.
And that may be a conversation that y'all need to have. In trying to bring peace to TikTok, that may be a conversation you and Kev need to have.
So
maybe
you can't. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
I cut you off.
Go ahead.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but I did. I can't understand how a man who is saying that he's trying to bring certain people together was acting the way that he was on his panel towards me. Y'all can claim that y'all didn't see it in that fashion. That's cool. Y'all can say, well, we didn't see it how Rose saw it. That's okay too. However, I know what I saw that day, and I know what I felt that day, and I know what people were saying in the comments that day as to why a lot of those individuals were being muted, blocked, and removed out of the broadcast that day. And so if I know that you are saying, China, I hear you. If I know that you're saying that you want to bring people together and you're a voice of reason and you're whatever the case may be, why is it that that man did not have grace, composure, or understanding for me on that panel? There was no type of grace for me. There was no composure for me. There was no respect for me. He claiming that there was not.
Okay.
You saying that, oh, I'm just going easy on you, and then you get mad when I say, okay, and I'm trying to be respectful to you. It's crazy. We don't know each other. He don't know me. I don't know him. My natural response was nothing compared to what he got on his panel that day because I was being respectful. And he claimed that I was being condescending.
Okay, so I feel like the rest of this is a conversation that needs to be had with him. I can't speak for nobody. I saw what I saw on the panel. You're saying that you felt a different type of way. Your feelings is not something that I can negate. I'm not gonna be able to tell you yes or no you did or did not feel this way. If you state, hey, I felt this way, I mean shit, can't nobody on here say anything but okay. We understand, like, you know what I'm saying? We didn't all felt mad, sad, etc. So I can't tell you how you supposed to feel or how you do feel. I'm only speaking on what actually took place, what actually happened. Now I get what you're saying. You saying, "Hey, I came up there when it came to me and Bullock. You asked, could something be diffused?" And he was pointing out. I think both of y'all had positive intentions. I think you were looking at it different ways. You was like, "Okay, well, I'm a mutual to both of these ladies. Let me just tell them to calm down, and we can handle this on the back end, or maybe later. We're trying to do something else." And he was saying, "Hey, when people intervene in people's situations, this is how shit go from bad to worse real quick. Because all it takes, if you intervene, what's gonna stop somebody else from intervening and saying something?" I got what both of y'all was saying. I understand it. But at the same time, I'm not in this motherfucker to be making peace for other individuals or squashing beats for other people. I don't know what you and his relationship is. Today I heard him come up there and I was on Miss Nitra's panel when he apologized to a different Rose. He was like, "Hey Rose, look, I know you were offended the other day on my panel. I'm sorry. I apologize." And people were like, "Kev, wrong Rose." And he was like, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I don't know. I didn't know. Okay, sorry about that." Well, you just got a free apology. So I think he was legit in trying to apologize. And then today when he was like, "Okay, I apologize," it looked like it kind of ignited even further. So I don't know what if there's anything behind it or what the whole deal is. I don't want to speak for Nan nigga. I don't want to be involved in shit that ain't got nothing to do with me. My comments, I can clear up. I can testify to what I said. I did say I thought those were those were lies because those were not factuals to what was stated. So your feelings are one thing, the facts are another thing. Yes, I did say that, not backsliding on that. In regards to the Bullock situation, I said, hold on. Why so much of, and it didn't start at what Bullock had came up there and said. The video started at what I had said. So it sounded like I was fucking with that woman when in all notion, the woman came, she got rolled by the comments in the panel because she came up there to address what I had said to her in the middle of people trying to create peace. And everybody was able to see it. So they went in and was like, hold on now, you speaking on something, why are you asking this woman for an apology or whatever the case? You talking about you done been called out your name. She came up right after I had apologized to Kev. And I said, I'm not handing out apologies. So I don't know what you came for because you started with me. So you're not getting an apology. And she said, I'm not looking for one. So to be quite honest, I don't even know what her point of coming up on the panel was. I will have to agree with the rest of the panel on that. It wasn't about a mutual thing or not handling at another part. We need to start calling out behavior like that. You coming into a live of 1,000 plus 200,000 plus 2,000 plus people and you're wanting to center yourself. We trying to cause peace. And because I just squashed beef with him, you want to ask if you can get an apology? No. Because see, when I fell out with this man, it was because of something he said to another woman that I was taking up. My fallout with you was because of you disrespecting me. So it's flat out, we ain't coming back from that. So in regards to that, that's what took place. So I respect the panel for calling her out and saying, wrong place, wrong time. And if you wasn't looking for a resolution, why'd you come up here? And if you claim, oh, I don't need no apology. So what were you coming up here for? You came up right after I apologized to him.
I'm not gonna lie as to why I said that I don't think that it needed to be a conversation at that moment, because I heard what she was saying, but it got lost because she acknowledged the situation that you and her had. She used it as an example to reference, like, hey, I don't have a problem with her. However, me and her have had differences, whatever the case may be. And if we're trying to do X, Y, and Z, I would have no problem with putting that to the side so that we can come together. That was her sentiments. However, that shit got completely lost in translation because individuals spoke to the fact that she was addressing you, Trip. A man spoke to the fact that she was addressing you as opposed to acknowledging that why she was saying what she was saying. As to why I made statements saying, look, you know what? I'm friends with both of y'all. Look, we can talk about this at a different time. That's why I said it is male centered, because right now, men should not be interfering in the conversation that y'all are having. That's what caused me to make that statement.
Okay, now Rose, let me ask you.
I'm not gonna hold you. I ain't got no reason. She was literally saying we didn't had our own differences. However, for a common good of us coming together as a collective, I can put that aside and we can move forward.
But
It's
let me explain though. When she
it was
came up
wrong
and you
time.
got the video, so if
It
need
was
be, you
wrong
can
time.
replay it. But I'm not really. Let me put it this way. Some people are interested in just talking about it to talk about it. As you can hear, my voice is going hoarse. I don't need to talk about it just to talk about it. I've told the story plenty of times over. What took place? The woman came up that day on his panel while we were talking about peace, squashing beefs, getting people together and unifying. And the first thing she stated was, "Yeah, I was over. I was on a panel with somebody the other day, and I was called out of my name. And all I said was that I have morals and values." So number one, you trying to play victim, and number two, I don't have time. And last time, other people saw it. You stating, "Hey, I'm a mutual," so you got feelings on both sides, were invested. Other people with no investment said wrong time, wrong place, and nobody else needs to intervene. And so once again, I do agree in that standpoint of other people coming to bat stating, "Ma'am, wrong time, wrong place." Now you mad that this woman about to spar off on your ass again, but you're the one that came up here trying to get something started. You came up right after this man was apologized to, but then you're telling people you don't want an apology. But the first thing you mentioned is the negative experience you've had with somebody and how you were called out of your name. You never initiate to tell anybody what you did to get called out your name. You were definitely called out your name. Probably will be again, but it was because you initiated. You don't start with people and then say, "Oh, I don't know why they bother me. I wish we could leave us alone." Leave people alone and you will be left alone. And in regards to that man, to Kev, I think maybe y'all need to have a conversation because some of the things that you're stating, nobody else can trump over. When he came in today though on Bella's Live and was like, "Hey, look, okay, fine then, Rose, you got it. My bad, whatever. I'm sorry."